So one of the decisions they needed to make was what kind of a government we were going to have. We'd always been ruled by somebody. And the founders said, well, gee, there's this philosopher. I always thought he was French, but somebody says, no, he's English. So there was this philosopher that had this idea. He said, well, look, the Greeks proved that we don't need anybody over us. We can decide for ourselves. They used to get together as a community and vote, with white marbles and black marbles. They would vote. They ruled themselves. They didn't need anybody telling them what to do. They said, why couldn't you do that for a whole country? So one of the problems is logistics. It takes a long time to get from one place to another. So we are here in San Mateo, California, and we have the San Mateo Bridge. When it was first built, they didn't have electricity. So it was dark out there at night. So but if you had a load of lumber that you wanted to take across the bay, you had to wait until the sun came up. So what they would do is they would gather at the end of the bridge and wait for the sun to come up. And as soon as they could barely see, they took off. And get this. I mean, how long does it take to go across the San Mateo Bridge? 10, 15 minutes? Something like that? How long? 8 minutes? Takes 8 minutes. Not long. Not long. Okay, so with no traffic. Okay, and that's what we just think, oh, it's just, a little drive. If they were lucky, they got to the other side before the sun went down. That's how long it took somebody to get around back then. A long time. So how do you run a country? You can't get everybody together to vote. So what could you do? So this philosopher said, why doesn't a community elect a representative to go and vote for them, represent this group? And that's how, for the first time in history, a country was ruling itself through representative government. Now, the founders didn't know if it would work. It had never been done before. In fact, they called it the Great Experiment. They really, truly didn't know if it would work. But they thought, what the heck, let's give it a try. And 50 years later, when both Jefferson and Adams were on their deathbed, and we were celebrating the 50th anniversary of the founding of this country, both these guys, these ex-presidents, were writing back and forth saying, would you believe it? This country's still working. It's phenomenal. We just didn't think it would happen.